I've been thinking a lot about how I am perceived. Most of what makes up who I am, you can't see. Still, when I search my reflection, I recognize that's me. Mostly, I accept the boundaries of this body. Other times, I overcolor the outlines of my anatomy, tearing at tendons and scratching at scabs. Blood pools around my ankles, and I am acutely aware of the price of being born as I am. One summer, when I was 8 years old, I covered my skin in milky white makeup and avoided the August sun. As I layered liquid foundation, I imagined being on Broadway, starring as roles I believed I'd never book, and shows that seemed to systematically dismiss my existence. I thought if I could camouflage my culture, I'd buy acceptance in an industry that seemed uninterested in me. Melanin masked, I considered the creature in the mirror and cowered at this colorless phantom, this snow white poltergeist that oftentimes haunts the abandoned house of my birthright light brown body. Understand, as an American child, my mind was conditioned by a cop who commands kids to conform, to perform. By force, of course, and also by deception. They puppeteer our perception. You see, the oppressor's authority is rooted in the myth of white superiority, an infection easily internalized by the impressionable. Police need not to patrol the perimeters of a conscience already under control. Their power lies in insecurity, inhibiting our imaginations so that inferiority feels inherent. Example. An Asian American infant is assigned female at birth. Soon, stereotypes on TV show her who she's supposed to be, yet what she doesn't see are images of herself free. She's secondary, not often the lead, so when the white boys in class look at her body, what do they see? The dragon lady, a model minority, an infantilized piece of a more important story, a prop kept backstage to use and then cage. Every expectation for fetishization, every supposition that I am prone to submission, each boundary crossed by bright-eyed colonizers seemed to me inevitable. Each enforcement of subjugation eroded my identity until I acted as the role I was expected to portray. I learned the lines of this play far before I was old enough to understand that the script was written long before my birth. Sometimes I tell my trauma not to complain because I'm sure my ancestors have endured so much more. I tell myself there are children in Thailand and Laos sold into sexual slavery, exploited by the same soldiers whom Westerners worship. I guess that means I should be grateful. But why must I express gratitude for the mistreatment of other members of my own race? If I'm honest, no human hardship can cancel another away, but it can compound it. Suffering creates the sensation of companionship among strangers. Colonized communities are complex, interconnected. Our various cultures are survived by those who imagine futures for their families far beyond what seems feasible. Most of what makes up who I am, you can't see. But how I'm perceived is central in shaping my identity. One summer, when I was 10 years old, I played Annie in a local youth community theater production in Philly, my hometown. Although I still sported the red wig, an unnecessary addition if you ask me, I wore my August absorbing complexion proudly as I sang center stage about the sun coming out. If not today, tomorrow.